Hey everybody, welcome to day 6 of the Pale Blue Dot recording sessions. Back in the barn. After a bit of a tour, we have been Kentucky, Tennessee. Where else did we go?
New York, Maryland.
Yep. Masterclasses, concerts, all over.
Yep.
And we found ourselves back here in Michigan, in Traverse City, recording in the beautiful barn.
Yeah.
But we thought we were done 4 months ago.
Yeah.
So why are we back?
Well, on the road, we made some discoveries about 20 measures.
Yep.
In the Chick Corea that just it wasn't grooving the way we wanted it to.
20 bars of music.
Concert at Austin P State University.
That's right,
and we played the sort of original version, the version that we had recorded 4 months ago.
In November,
And I don't know, I'd lived with it in the editing room, we performed it that night, and after that show I said I don't want that to be the version that goes on the recording. I've got another idea for the groove. And so we drove back to Stephen Mattingly's house. In Louisville. And you decided to go play with the dogs, and I decided I was going to rewrite those 20 measures.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know who had more fun there.
Definitely you.
Yeah, this is like I don't know how many seconds of music. It's 20 bars.
Yeah,
so
it's not much.
It's probably, I don't even think it's 30 seconds. It might be 30, 35 seconds.
Yeah, and the deal that we made was we were going to play that version for that concert the next day, which was a concert that we played in a planetarium.
Amazing.
Really, really cool.
Yeah, I think all the concerts should be in planetariums from now on.
Not a bad idea. And not only did the experience kind of, it was eye-opening for us and really gorgeous, but also that new version really worked.
Yeah, it really worked. And I mean, I think what you'd had before was this polyrhythmic idea, which was very, very cool. But the more and more we played it live, the more that melody that I'm playing in this moment, it just wanted to sit really securely on top and sort of float along. And it becomes more and more complicated, and then you jump in and catch some of the things that I'm doing, and then it goes back to the sort of, rhythmical arpeggio. And it was funny playing in the planetarium because it was pitch black, apart from a few lights on stands and stuff. So that's actually quite an unusual thing to do as a musician, is play when you can't really see your fingerboard and you're sort of just catching shadows and things. And actually, the way it lined up in that condition kind of made me think this is absolutely right. This is the right choice how to do it,
And then we tested it again.
We did,
because we were on the road from Louisville to upstate New York for a library series in Skaneateles.
Oh, it was lovely.
Really great concert. And we'd sort of determined, okay, well, if we're still into it, by the time we've played that, then we need to come back to the barn and re-record.
Yeah. Which is, it's a fairly big ask for something that's been recorded 4 months ago.
Right.
And, I actually really like the other version as well, but I'm totally in agreement after literally road testing it, the way we've recorded it today, those 20 measures, to drop them in place of the previous one is completely worth it. But there were some challenges for us.
Yeah. Well, the technical challenges of making it sound exactly the way it sounded before.
Yeah.
So, in order to come back to this space, which is an enormous space.
It's huge, as you can see.
And the mics that we set up, they were really, really carefully placed when we first recorded.
Yeah.
And I think we had an idea that it would be a good idea to take very good records.
Extremely good records, it turns out, actually, which is great. I mean, we had a diagram that you drew, literally a map of everything, of, plug sockets or power outlets, of, there are beams going through this barn, which you can see. We sort of mapped out exactly what everything was. So your diagram's really detailed, and it's, to inches and centimeters and everything's really clear. We had pictures.
Yeah,
we took
a lot of pictures. Yeah.
And pictures of actually the preamps and everything and all the setups, and video, of course, as well. So we have quite a lot of documentary evidence to go, this is where things were, you know.
We use the same strings.
Yeah.
Since that recording, we've both kind of morphed some of the strings that we tend to play. So we put those strings right back on. Yeah,
because it was different strings for the tour.
Right.
So we changed them back to the strings that matched November for the continuity of sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but even then, with all of that kind of careful planning and all of that documentation, it still took a little bit to get the sound exactly the way it was when we recorded it in November. So that was
amazing, because we were playing live in the room, recording that live sound from today, and then going back within the file and checking it against November and being like, I think it's slightly drier, or is it a little bit closer, or and we were tweaking things back and forward the whole time.
Tiny little incremental changes made a huge difference.
I mean, it's hugely geeky. But I guess if you had like your own studio with, you could mark the floor, you had a consistency of everything, then this wouldn't be such a challenge. But, this is a very old building, and 4 months in this building's life is kind of,
That's true.
Things change in the environment. The time of year as well, it was autumnal, back in November, going towards winter actually, because it was quite late on when we recorded. And now we are really in spring.
Right.
So even the sort of heating in the building and the creaking and the cracking, it's kind of... But we got it. So we have put our ears, our eyes to the test. All these drawings, diagrams, pictures, really, really focused in, and managed to drop in those 20 measures of the newly written music. And I think the Chick Corea Spain is now sounding perfect.
I mean, everything is where we want it now.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of effort.
Yeah.
We came back to Traverse City after a really exhausting tour. I mean, it was 10 days on the road, longer for you because, of course, you were traveling in.
Yeah.
But I think we came here today thinking it was going to be a worthwhile effort.
Yeah.
Now
we know.
I'm convinced.
Yeah, totally.
Every note on that record is the way we want it to be.
Yeah.
And that's super duper valuable.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so, talking of the record, we are now in late March, obviously, of 2024. The record will be released in July, so only a few more months to go. And we will tease it out a little bit because we've made some performance videos of a few of the really special tracks on the album. So in the next couple of months, you're going to see some really, really special videos from the barn come out, featuring repertoire from our Pale Blue Dot album. So we will be sharing all of that, and we'll be inviting audiences on, have live stream listening parties after each single release, running up to the vinyl release. We're going to release the album on vinyl. It'll be available on digital streaming as well, of course, but we're looking at some really beautiful artwork, actually having a bit of a contest for the artwork design, and it's going to be a really special LP vinyl that we make of Pale Blue Dot.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Can't wait to share it with you.
All right. See you soon.
Bye for now.